Hi everyone again. So this video is going to be about how to teach the different sounds of English, the problems that Japanese students often have with certain sounds, and you'll actually be surprised that most students, I would say, can do about half of the sounds in English with almost no problem perfectly on the first try. And if we teach the sounds properly, you'll be surprised how many they get right on the first try. But I've been doing this for a few years, so I have a few tricks to help you to make sure to avoid the most common mistakes students make. Okay, so let's start with all of the consonant sounds. Consonants are like not boing sounds, right? Wow, the color really changed on the video here when I held this card up. Interesting. Okay, so this one is very easy. It's the b, b, b sound. This one's really easy. The only mistake students can make is like ba, ba, ba or something, and just tell them that it's like ba no hanbun. It's b, b, b. And I use this gesture just to emphasize that it's fast. Because if you go b, b, they'll want to go bo, ba. So we go b, b, b. You want to emphasize that it's fast, right? So that they don't add the vowel, the boing sound, the a, I, u, e, o to it, right? Okay, so next sound is, I say just for the advice on this one, it's the d sound, right? And for the advice on this one, I say just put your tongue up a little and go really fast. D, d, d. Most students, no problem with that sound. So the next one, I say put your teeth on your lip, right? And then it's only air, kukidake, right? This one is. Now it's important before you teach the sound, make sure the students be like, okay, everyone, are you doing, I know maybe they're wearing masks or something, but say, everyone, are you doing this? Are you ready? Okay, right? Because if you don't, if you do the sound first before you do the shape, sometimes you need to do the shape first, what you're gonna get is a Japanese no, like right? You don't want to do that because that's not right. You want. So watch for that fu. Tell them fu dame. Okay, next is the g sound. G. All I do is I point at my throat and I go g, g, g. And they understand that the feeling is coming from here. Usually no problems with this sound. Next sound, I say, okay, you're running. Hashite, hashite, hashite. And then you're tired. Skarere, right? And what sound do you make? And that's the sound. So this one there is kukidake. It's only air, right? There's no sound. So not ha, hi, hu, right? Usually if you explain it that way, students can understand because they've been out of breath before and then they can copy it. They're like, oh, right, perfect, no problem, no problem. This one, I just go j, 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 j. And again, it's just because you don't want them to go ja or jo or ju or whatever. J, j, j. And this sort of gesture is just kind of how it feels, right? Next one is, what I do is something like kind of like this. I go well, this kind of looks like a C, right? But it's also because your mouth is kind of open when you're doing your tongue's a little up or whatever. But most students, no problem, because Japanese has kakikukeiko. They just have to understand. If you understand music with a lot of these sounds, the feeling is you're doing staccato, a very fast so that they don't add the a, I, u, e, o. Next one. This one, do not show them the letter first before you do it the first time. What you tell them is put your tongue up, shita-ue, like ha, touch, shite. You look around, be patient. Be patient with this one and they'll get it right, but you have to be patient, okay? Say, okay, mina, ugoku nai, okay? That's this sound. Now the reason I'm not going l, 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 if you do that, you're going to get la, which is zenzen jiga. So we do not move for practicing the sound so that they will understand that it's l, and it's different from la. Okay? Okay, very important on that one. Next one, I just say kuchi de shindo shite. You just want them to vibrate a little bit here. Sometimes I'll mention like Nihon no n wa kuchi no naka ne kimochi ne This is kuchi de shindo shite. This one, right? This one's usually pretty good, but sometimes it's just like not quite perfect, so you want to make it better. The next one I say, put your tongue up, shita ue, and shindo shite hana ni. So many students will bara these, but the katachi is zenzen jigao. The shape is different. This is tell them to really look at your face, right? And your tongue is up. So the shape inside the mouth and outside the mouth is very different, even if the sounds are a little similar. Next is the pa, pa, pa sound. Now it's good to say kuki dake, right? Only air here. Pa, 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 pa. Just so you don't get papi pupepo type things. The next one is really important. You have to do this patiently, okay? This one's like the most important, okay? First, you're going to practice the shape only, katachi dake, okay? Your tongue is going to go up, even back a little, like ue, ushiro, okay? And then say, okay, use your hand so the students can see. They can see, they might not be able to see your tongue, but they can see your hand, right? And you get everyone ready? And mecha ushiro kara. And my face looks funny and stuff, but the idea is you really want them to get the idea that it's coming from far back, and then the air is kind of coming from here and it's going so the air is really moving from the back of your mouth and kind of coming out, right? Sometimes if my students like, you know, Dragon Ball, I say it's kind of like a kamehameha. It's like kamehameha sort of thing, but you can use whatever you like. I like to joke around, but everyone has a different teaching style, right? And that is this one, right? Now you'll notice that compared to the L sound, which Japanese people mix up with R because they have the rari-ru-re-ro, right? The shape that I'm showing for this is really, really different. So I tell the students, mina katachi, you know, shita no naka ni, kuchi no naka ni, in your mouth. Katachi zenzen jigao. It's totally different, right? Is coming from the back, and is zenzen ugokunai, and you're really moving. So they're totally different. So tell your students, even if the sound to them is kind of the same, mimic, copy the shape and where the tongue goes. Honestly, the best advice you can give students if they're having trouble is where your tongue is in your mouth is very important. And using your hand to show students how to move their tongue, if it should go ta, or it should go or it should go r, is really, really helpful. It really makes a big difference. Next one. Even though native speakers who go, we have a little space here, I tell them, put your teeth together and go, The reason for this is a lot of students want to go like, if, for instance, if you said seashells, seashells, a lot of Japanese students would go she-shells, she-shells, right? They would go sh, 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 sh. It's because in Japanese, maybe like 200 years ago, I think Japanese had si, sa, si, su, si, si, no oto, but nowadays you don't have si, you have just shi, right? So a lot of the time you want to stop that from happening because si, like umi, and shi, like kanojo, are different pronunciations. So because of that, if you do this, it's very hard to go she from here. You want to go s, s, s. So emphasize teeth together. S, and this sort of feeling is s, very tight air. Okay, next I go t, t, t. So your tongue is going really fast, almost like a hi-hat, like drums. T, 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 kind of feeling. T, 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 t. So, t, t. Okay, next one. First, you want to get them to put their teeth on their lip. And don't move. Ugokunai. And koko de shindo shite. You want to vibrate. And the image I always use is like the Yankee no suki na mono. But, I mean, you can use whatever you want. The idea is that if you try to do this sound normally with Japanese pronunciation, it's like bui or something, like bui, and you move, you go but, it's kind of like bui or something. You don't want that. You want them to stay and don't move and vibrate. So don't go because then they'll go and it will be wrong. Okay? And maybe don't show them the letter first, do the sound first and then show them the letter the first few times you do that. With any of these sounds like and r and v, where you need to not move or do something special, show them how to do it first, do the sound together first, and then show the letter, because they've learned to associate these letters since grade 3 with like Japanese pronunciation, right? So you don't want to do that from the start. You want to reteach them how to think of these Romaji in English sounds. Okay, next, let's go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. With this one, it's pretty easy. The only danger is they go wa or wo. So you want to go whoop, whoop, whoop. Sometimes I even go whoop, 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 because it's hard to go whoa, 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 really fast. Whoa, 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 really fast. Next one, yip, yip, yip. So I just say shita skoshi ue. That's this one, right? Yip, 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 really fast. Yip, yip, yip. This one's pretty easy. They're usually okay with this one. Next one, teeth together. Zzz, right? Now don't go z, 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 because what will happen is you will get z, z, z. So if we do it as one long sound, they can't because it's one long sound. You can't go z, right? It's really hard to z. That's this one, of course. Okay, I see that this part of the video is getting pretty long. So the next are the combo letters, and I'm going to make that a separate video. So that's all for this video. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Hope that that's not too bad for you.